Okay, so you guys are probably wondering why I'm so happy right now. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but my face tracking became much more accurate and much more smoother. I fiddled around with the face tracking software that I was using, and I found out my camera frames setting was set at the wrong one. It was tracking at 5 frames per second when my webcam could record at 24 frames per second. And I set the thing to 24 frames per second right now, and it's so much smoother. Previous videos I recorded, my avatar moved very slowly and then responded very slowly. But right now, it's so responsive. Like, if I can wink very easily. Huh. So today's content is an anime review. I finished the Mobile Suit Gundam Witch of Mercury. I finished the series a few days ago, and I thought I have to kind of talk about it, and I have to review it. Just letting you guys know, I'm a pretty big fan of the Gundam franchise, but in this video, I am gonna review this in the perspective of a non-Gundam fan, and I also will keep this video as spoiler-free as possible. I will not spoil anything major, I can promise you that. Also, I know I kind of missed the hype train. This series ended like July this year, I think. So it's been a while since it ended, but oh well. The Witch of Mercury is enjoyable even as for non-Gundam fans because it's based in a completely new universe. It's not connected to any of the previous Gundam series or franchise. So I think it's a really nice entry point to a Gundam series for people who don't know Gundam. So quick intro to the setting of the series. People started living in other planets and the space as well because of the population growth. However, the people living in space discriminate against the people living on Earth because the people who were left on Earth tend to be the people who are less privileged. There's an escalation of issues between the people living on Earth and people living in space. And there are actually armed rebellions on Earth who have a war against the people of space. And then a quick intro to about the story itself. The story follows Suletta Mercury, who is a very cute, shy girl who has never been to school before. And in the first episode, she goes to this academy to be trained and become a good pilot of a mobile suit. A mobile suit refers to the mechas in the Witch of Mercury franchise. After a course of events, Suletta meets a girl named Miorine. She's a cocky but smart girl who is the daughter of the president of the Benerit Group. Benerit Group is essentially this big organization who is a big part of the space, like they control the space. Miorine gets into trouble, but Suletta decides to help out, which leads Suletta to have a mobile suit duel against the best pilot in the academy. Suletta is already a pretty good pilot. Also, she has one of the most OP mobile suits. The mobile suit is called Ariel. And just letting you guys know, Ariel, the mobile suit, kind of gets treated like a character throughout the series. So keep that in mind as we watch the series. During the duel, Suletta wins and gets the title of the best pilot in the academy. However, she then finds out that the best pilot of the academy is to become Miorine's future husband. Yeah, I know. This was very unexpected for many Gundam fans as well. Essentially, Miorine and Suletta maintain this relationship that is somewhere between being friends and lovers throughout the series. And I like it. I like it. I like how they depict the relationship. I really like it. And as the story continues, Miorine and Suletta makes more friends in the academy, gets closer to each other, and grows together with the new friends. Overall, the first half of the series is pretty bright and cheerful. It does have some dark moments here and there, but then the mood of the series tends to be on the brighter side. However, near the middle of the story, the characters suddenly get winded up in an actual battle related to the war that is going on between the space people and the Earth people. And let's just say that Suletta does something very unexpected that essentially horrifies the viewers, and the viewers realize something is not right with Suletta. And that serves a major turning point of the story, because the story gets much darker after that point. The war starts directly affecting the characters and the main story after that, and many characters make mistakes and regrettable decisions, and that's also why I started liking the series even more, because this part of the story shows the most character developments. After the turning point, the characters learn, the characters grow, and the story eventually reaches the climax. Unfortunately, I didn't like the climax as much. I would still say it's pretty enjoyable, it's not bad. However, after the climax, the ending? Oh, the ending was so great. The thing I liked the most about the ending was the last scene of the last episode, when the music started playing with the credits and the title. I was smiling, and then I was also tearing up a bit. So what I like about the series overall is that the story is very organized. So how it works is that the main characters and the main plot line affects all the characters, including the side characters, and side characters goes on to have their own story arcs and have own development, which later affects the main plot and the main characters in a totally unexpected way, but in a way that makes sense. And that's what I thought was very good. I also like the characters themselves, like each of them have unique personalities. What I thought was very interesting about the series is that there isn't really an evil person in this series. I think one of the core messages that the series was trying to deliver was that each person has own perspectives. They have own backstories and own reasons behind their decisions. Even if certain decisions are questionable, the characters making those decisions are actually trying their best to do the right thing. For example, there is a character called Kenanji Every. This happened in the one episode prologue. Kenanji kills a husband of a happily married couple. I thought Kenanji Every would become one of the main villains of the story, but later in the story, it's actually revealed that Kenanji is a moralistic man. Something related to the war happens, and the students volunteer to put themselves in danger. And then Kenanji says something like this: "If it gets dangerous, run. This is adults' problem. You guys are still students." So I think this shows that he didn't kill the husband because he was evil. It's just that Kenanji was on the different side of the battle, and he believed that what he was doing, what he was fighting for, was the right thing to do. Okay, I think I talked about the story a little bit too much, so I'll move on to more visual aspects now. Animation is really good. Like, great battle scenes, a lot of beautiful drawings. I actually also like the gunfights done by the characters themselves, like not by the mechas. You can feel how strong each gunshot is from the animation. Another thing that's great about the visual aspects is that the character designs are very memorable. Like, there's a lot of side characters in this series, and their designs may help them to stand out and be memorable. Okay, now moving on to the stuff I didn't like as much. As I already said, I was not a big fan of the climax. Something unexpected gets involved in the climax, and I think that something wasn't foreshadowed enough. There were also a few scenes where I found to be very unnecessary. Like, some of the scenes, you could easily tell that they were put just to show new mechs. So Bandai, which is the company that makes Gundams, can sell the plastic models of the suits, of the mobile suits. There's one more thing that I want to talk about. This isn't something I don't like. I actually liked it. But then I think some people may find this less appealing. As I said, the story suddenly takes a turn from being a pretty bright academy/school story to a dark war-related story. I know that when the Turning Point episode aired, the Korean Gundam community went very wild, and that episode became very controversial. I personally liked how it turned to a dark story, but I can also understand why some people may not like it as much. Conclusion: The Witch of Mercury is a great sci-fi mecha anime even non-Gundam fans can easily enjoy. It has a great story where many different characters' arcs get woven together. It also has very good animation and character designs. The series does have some flaws here and there. However, I will still give this series 8.5 out of 10. I genuinely tried to be as objective as possible about this series, and I found it to be very enjoyable and definitely worth my time watching it. I would definitely recommend watching The Witch of Mercury. Alright, thank you for watching this video, and I'll head out right now. Bye bye! Oh. As an aside, the opening song, The Blessing, was sung by Yoasobi, who is the famous group who sang Idol, the opening of Oshinoko.